that Dreamercell has been spamming a lot of Ricky in his pubs. Every time I look at Dreamercell, he's always playing Ricky. So
The dude
I
is
think
crazy.
yeah, I think this is his original idea actually.
Yeah. And it's funny that they're respect banning it now. Second band
Mm-hmm.
here. But
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about this Timbersaw ban? Why that?
Feels like a specific target band to me. Maybe the after rains, the Xiaoyu's Timbersaw is really something. Play with cheese and play against cheese, so maybe that's the band.
And then I like it how they responded with the IO, making sure that that doesn't go out there because it's a nice little counter to the Timbersaw. So nice little mind game, so to speak, that they're playing with each
Mm-hmm.
other.
But it also means that they are picking OD into a Nyx. Ah.
That yeah. So okay. So we know that OD is strong.
Mm-hmm.
That there's no that is not going to be the problem. But Nyx is like supposedly that hard counter that's just gonna. I mean, as an OD, if you ever see a Nyx, it just destroys him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's like when you're balancing, you're going for strength and you're trying to go make this power move and try to go with OD because it is very strong, but you have so many potential counters to it. It just seems very risky.
Yeah, I mean the thing about the thing about OD this patch is that he's super versatile. You can play him on the mid, off lane, and also position 4. These are all viable positions for him. So when you are picking him in the first pick, you are expecting some counters for him. So I think 0-2 they are gonna flex pick this hero. They're gonna flex it to perhaps the 4 or the 3. And right now the Nyx Assassin used to be able to counter OD in two ways, mana burn and also carapace. When he used his Astral, because it does AoE damage, you can just run to the Astral target, pop carapace, and you stun OD. But not anymore now since Astral doesn't do AoE damage, so it's really just for the mana burn. So I think if 0-2 if they want to switch the OD to 3, it's actually okay. Like you have the Nyx Assassin that counters a position 3 OD. So what?
That's really interesting. You even think OD would be played as a 4?
Yeah. In some games, we have been seeing some OD4s, especially yesterday. Omega, they picked OD4 for Boomy.
Uh-huh.
I think it was a very early OD pick as well. So that they do all these flexible things.
What is the itemization for that?
It's the same. You still go for Meteor Hammer. Like
Really? Okay.
in every single position, Meteor Hammer is your key item because OD he cannot farm. There's no AoE wave clear at all, and the Astro into Meteor Hammer combo is just way too devastating right now.
Huh. But they've picked a 0-2. They've gone with a clock, which tends to be. I mean, well, it can be played as a 4, 5, and 3. I think that you're kind of more or less limiting what the OD could do, because like you know what I mean. Because he kind of, if you played the 4, then obviously OD wouldn't do that. So you're kind of showing your hand, so to speak. So, what do you think about clock here?
I think Claw is just a very natural pick here for 0-2. Not only that, after rain, he already showed what he can do with the offlane clock last game, and this game is Clock is against Shadow Demon and Nyx Assassin, which he's really good against because none of these heroes are nature 4-star buyer,
Yeah.
and they have a hard time getting out of the clock as well. So I feel like not only that, Clockwork is also a very versatile pick, very versatile hero. So you have two heroes with a lot of flexibility. So it's really hard for Cignal to read the heroes, like where's the position of these heroes and how to counter that.
Okay. Okay. And do you like the whole clock shards, like the Rocket Man style clock, or what sort of build do you go?
Honestly, I haven't been playing too much clock now, but it seems like the shark one is what everyone has been going for.
Okay.
It just gives you a lot of more choices to do in the mid game, and also you can pull out some very surprised hook shot too. I think it's a good leader item. Just 1.4k to give you such many choices. I think that's pretty worth it.
To be honest, I was completely wrong on this one. I was like, I didn't really see the value of it until I saw it in my game, so to speak, and then just seeing just how much damage it can potentially do, because it does add quite a lot to his kit. So, yeah, like a good item there.
Yeah, I think a lot of the shot are like that. When we read when you just read the words, we couldn't think of the potential things that we can do with it. I remember when the first time I read on the Phoenix shard,
Yeah.
that was so garbage to me. That was like literally the most garbage shard upgrade ever when I read it to myself. Because it literally just gives you like random spirits.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I learned from reading it, but it's actually not. So for Phoenix right now, you don't need to consume your HP or mana to get the fire spirit, and it will always be there. So that's actually one of the most important shard upgrade for any hero.
And actually, we didn't talk too much about this, but just what do you think about the shards in general? Is it a good addition to the game, or is it just more complexity?
Man, I love it, man. I think the shard really brings a lot more potential to the game, and there's a lot more things you can do. Like for example, my personal favorite is Mars shard upgrade, where you can spear two targets to the wall or to the trees. I think that increases the potential for you to just completely change the game or end the game. Yeah, and I love all these changes in Dota. I just feel like all these things bring a fresh breath to the game.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that the shards are a bigger change, or like a map, changes to the map, like with like the secret shops going away or whatnot, the side shops?
Honestly, I like the shot. I like the shot edition more than the map changes. To be honest, I just feel like there's so many ways I can play a new position 5 now, like Undying. Like I can just buy shot and then I can randomly summon zombies whenever I use my decay. If it makes me feel like my hero is not so boring anymore.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's adding a little bit, but I just feel like my only concern was that the timing of when they launched it versus where the DPC was going on, like all this stuff, is that do teams actually have enough time to playtest everything? Is there things that are just completely overpowered? Because you're not really giving any sort of window for the players to learn.
Yeah, the one thing I really believe in my mind is that I see a lot of people they always complain about how the patch just drops a week before their official tournament. But to me, I feel like if you are a professional player, the ability to adapt to new things is also, it should be considered as one of our toolkits. Yeah, and I think the ability to adapt, it really benefit to the teams that are really strong. So I don't think it's an excuse or a thing to complain, because if you are strong, if you have good understanding, you should be able to read this patch a lot faster than your opponent, and you should be the one taking benefit from that.
Okay.
Yeah. So the only complaint from me is that the whole open qualifiers or DPC late thing they announce now and then it happens a week later. So a lot of teams actually don't even get the time to practice. They don't even get the time to gather everyone together, and that's my biggest disappointment, honestly.
Yeah. And I mean, just comparing, we're not doing like an official cast or anything, but like if we're just going to compare apples and somewhat apples in the sense of like League of Legends, right? Where they actually had, right after Worlds, they had a pretty big patch that had a decent amount of items, and they completely changed the way, like legendaries and like the first big items would go, right? And that's a massive change. But the thing is that they actually gave it, I think it was close to 2 to 3 months of just playtest time, right? Just let people get used to it, and then once we were good to go, like they knew that it was going to happen in January. Like how Riot is very structured with how their like leagues are working, right? So this is for them, it was very easy to do, and everybody knew what was coming. So there was no like last minute, all of a sudden like this is what's going on. It was kind of like this is our plan. You have 3 months to learn it.
Yeah. I think this gives a lot of consistency or stability to all the teams.
Yeah.
Especially the roadmap of the entire year, right? I think Riot is just dominating in that aspect.
I don't know what it is about Valve, right? Like just like they're like this game development company in like the shadows, like that are like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know if they're understaffed or they're just keeping things close to the vest, but they just like they have this great IP in Dota, and they're not really taking full advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, I read an article before that says that Valve, the thing that make money is their Steam, right?
Yeah.
Steam is the one that's bringing them a lot of money. They have a lot of game titles under that. And then if you look at Riot, League of Legends is their baby.
Yep.
It's their soul baby. So they put a lot of time into polishing the game, polishing the entire scene. Whereas WoW, if they don't have Dota, they still make money from a lot of other ways. And the thing about it is that we are so fucking loyal, and we just keep
Yeah,
dumping money for WoW, and
exactly.
doesn't do anything, and he just get money from us. Like, it's just crazy. Actually, it's like a very very bad boyfriend or girlfriend that takes everything as granted.
Okay, I'm gonna ask more of a personal question. But do you have any siblings?
Yes,
You do. Are you older, younger?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest. How many siblings roughly?
I have a brother and a sister.
You have a brother and sister. So you, in the same way, are like Dota, right? You're not that only child like
Yeah.
League of Legends where they would just cherish that kid and give them everything. Okay, you are that third one that I mean, I don't know how your parents actually treated you, but you know what I mean. They didn't give you everything, right? They
Yeah.
didn't. They're not handing you out. They're not. Like, they're making you work for it, so to speak. And the fact that like they're not giving you any love.
Okay, that's not true, but I understand it's an analogy.
It's an analogy, of course. It's not like real. I don't know what your parents have done to you or anything.
Yeah, I just wanted to say because sometimes my parents watch my streams, so they are here. Why me?
I'm sure they did a great job. I'm sure your parents love you and you love your parents. You have a great relationship. So, all right. But looks like the draft is completely set here. But it looks more like.
Honest, man. Honest. Whenever we talk about the draft, right? We
Yeah.
never really talk about the draft.
Oh yeah, of course not. Of course not. Draft's a waste of time. For the also for the record about me, like I love the production guys that are just like we'll just jump in the second half because these drafts take so much time. They're really time consuming.
Yeah. And don't make me predict anything, please. I'm not gonna predict anything anymore.
Okay, who are you gonna predict?
Um.
Who do you like? You don't have to predict, but tell me who you
Okay,
like.
who do I like? I like 02 simply because they have Malaysians in their roster.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm biased, of course. Like it's a non-official cause, and I'm super biased.
All right. But I mean,
How about you?
I don't know. I just love the way Dream SL plays. I think that you just him and Chuan, just the fact that like Chuyan, as I heard Cyclops calling him the other day, just earlier today. But like I don't know how you pronounce it, to be honest. But for me, I think that these two cores are some of the top right now in terms of their play, and they've just been able to control the game very well, even throughout. They work well together. So I'm gonna kind of go with 02 on this one.
Yeah, honestly, Quan, like I believe he's called Quan,
Okay.
because it's the direct translation from his Chinese name.
Okay. That
Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
Quan should be the correct pronunciation. But the one thing I want to talk about Quan is that he's one of the very few shot calling mid player in Southeast Asia. So most of the Southeast Asia mid player, they're not so vocal. And Quan is one of the loudest player that I've known, simply because I know this. He was in Geek Fan before, so I heard a lot of stories about him. I know that Geek Fan founder. I love this kid a lot, and the fact that he played for Aster last season, and how all Chinese players are so vocal in the game. I think this brings a lot of benefit and gives him a lot of advantage as a mid player that can really lead the team, because he can just control the movement, control the tempo so well by his ideas, by his movements, and this is why these are the reasons why I really love Chan as a mid player.
I find that funny that you say like the mid players in C are generally not shot callers, because in your pub games and rank games, the mid player is usually the loudest and most annoying, right? He's like the most toxic one of all. So I don't know. In terms of like jokes aside, I think playstyle wise, I think it helps the mid, because when he's looking to gank or he's looking to roam, like he should be the one that's making those calls. Like he can dictate the pace of the game very early. So I feel like it's a natural thing for more of like a mid or a position 4.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't think I feel like the fact is otherwise. The truth is otherwise. Like I've worked with some mid players before, and they're just. It's not like they are not vocal, but they are vocal in the wrong way. They don't know they may not be very accurate with what they should be doing or what they should be saying, things like that.
Yeah.
So there's a different kind of vocal. You can be very vocal, but with bunch of nonsense. You can be also vocal with very accurate and precise information and movement too. And I think Quan belongs to the latter.
Okay. All right. I agree with that. Okay. All right, but okay. Looking at this lane, it's looking to be like an OD off lane. Clock 4. I think that's how they're kind of positioning
Yep.
themselves.
Mm-hmm.
OD literally can be played in every position. Is that what we're saying now?
Yes, I think so. But like he can be played in supports, but is that effective enough? Is that impactful enough? And does that worth you having LOD as a 4 rather than having a Spirit as a 4? So that's my biggest argument whenever teams are running a position 4 OD. I would like to see OD on cores all the time because it's too kid. It's just built to be a core because he does damage with items. And you don't want a hero that does nothing without items as on a support.
Okay. All right. By the way, are we following the main cast? The
Yeah,
Observer?
which one are you following?
I'm.
Cyclops?
Okay. Cyclops or main cast? Either way.
Oh yeah, main cast. Okay, I'll go with
Okay.
main cast.
Yeah. At Lima Neck. All right.
Okay, so OD he went for Arcane Orb level 1. I've seen some people do this. He probably thinks that Astral can be easily reflected by AM, so he doesn't want to go for that. I'm not sure because Nyx now he went for mana burn, and he's burned all the mana of OD, so OD practically doesn't do anything in this lane,
Yeah.
except for last hitting.
Yeah. He's a range creep at this point.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, what else would you do? I mean, if you're gonna be the OD off lane, right, and you know that the Nyx they're gonna like even rotate, especially since Shadow Demon's top. You know, that's probably a call that Cignal Ultra made. We'll just swap it around, let Nyx just harass his OD to no end. But not really much you can do is after rain, right?
Yeah, I think what OD wants to do is that, because OD is naturally a slow hero, all you want to do is get to your item timing and then fight after that. So as OD off lane, then how do you maximize your impact in the lane is that whenever the enemy is going for last hits, or on range creep or mini creep, you just astral him and deny the creep off. So that's one way of making the carry annoying. That's gonna be your biggest impact in the game as an OD.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, you really don't contribute a lot unless you
Yeah.
have a hero like a Lina, Mirana Arrow, or Nyx Assassin Impale to set up with the Astro. Then maybe you can find some killing potential there.
Okay. And as in your dream, how are you helping out this OD? Like, what are you doing? Are you focusing more on the Nyx? Are you dealing with the AM? Like, what is your priority?
Well, the priority is just trying to destroy the lane equilibrium. Don't let it stay very well for AM to free farm. You want to always be stopping the Nyx on pulling, and then you try to just zone out the Nyx and give OD a 1 versus 1 with anti-mage, because that's always going to be good. It's not like anti-mage can zone out the OD on his own. So just try to make the lane a 50-50 for OD, and that would be pretty good.
Okay. I just feel like there's just too much mana burn with like the AM and the Nyx that OD is gonna have a rough time. But nonetheless, Dream of Cell on the top lane gets disrupted here. He gets a little bit low, but Morphling is just he's always low, I would say.
Yeah, and Morphling has one of the best lane partner to lane against, to lane with, which is Undying. The heal is gonna be amazing. The ability to just zone out two guys are is amazing for Morph 2. But Cignal Ultra, they have the Beastmaster, which is generally the better off lane against Morph, because even though you cannot kill him, but you have your board to help you with the last hits too. So if you look at the last hits, Beastmaster are quite ahead of the Morphling.
Okay, he's doing well. I mean, he's doing what he can. I think that's the biggest thing. And I was gonna say like, oh, Paulson, he has the TP just barely, like literally a foot away, and he does get away. Oh, the poison! That is so funny that he didn't actually TP to the fountain or anything because he knew he had a salve, and he actually picked up something else from the courier, just some wards. But he's in position to kind of help out, but he doesn't. He's very low on mana, and he had to actually clarity up.
Yeah, it's actually very lame to play Undying in this way because you're always low. You're fine if you're low in HP, but you're not very happy if you don't have mana to spam. So normally what the Undying players do, that they'll spam everything, they'll just suicide.
Yeah.
But in that case, he was almost dead to the Shadow Demon, so that's TPing away seems like the best response for him, but that's actually not the most optimal one.
Do you like, I mean, it looks like, I've seen Undying's position 5s, they just, like, stock up on mangoes, and they just go ham with, like, the decays and that.
Yeah.
I mean, this tends to be a more traditional style support at least. But what do you think between the two? Which is the correct way to play?
I think if your killing potential on the lane is amazing, for example, you are playing Undying plus Drow, you can go for the Mango build so that you create opportunities for your mid lane though, Trent.
Jamesy. Oh, he's got the stun. He hits in your dreams. He's looking to just fight this one. Jamesy's actually doing the damage. He can draw his first blood. He goes down, and Sean will have to just kind of run away as he's got the haste. Paulostone is there. Oh, he picks him off. So I guess if you can just get some decay snipes like that, it's like a 360 no scope. I think you're in a good position.
Yeah, but nevertheless, it was really good for Lash because it was a 4-minute first blood. So having a first blood is always good, especially for a mid laner. Bottom lane.
After Rain is trying to run away. And your dream is here, though. He does have the spells if he wants to protect him, but Abat just kind of backs off as well as Grimm's.
Another thing about OD offlane is that, OD naturally he has a pretty tanky model. So like high armor, high HP. I've tried the tanky style OD before with Pipe or Eternal Shock. That was actually pretty good. You just be a nuisance in the team fight. You're just ashering everyone that wants to do damage, saving your teammates. It's actually a pretty good concept to have the offlane OD if you manage to pull it off.
Yeah. If that's like the key word, right?
Yeah,
But the boat, it does connect. Jamesy getting about half life. The torrent is a little late, and he did slow that down. If he timed that properly, he probably would have got that kill with that clock on the rotation there. Disruption top. They got a lot of poison stacks. He does need to be a little bit careful, but he doesn't actually meld, and he waveforms forward. Dreamcell turns us around, and the fairy fire from Eris, and it looks like Dreamcell has to TP away. Oh no, he TP's just back. I don't know if they know the limits of the TP. They can go a little bit further than that.
I guess it's okay for him to stay in the lane. He has Salve from Paulostone, and this is what we want to do as a post 5. Just buy a bunch of Salves that's gonna win games, man. Imagine if Dreamcell had to TP back to base, the tower is gonna drop, and he's gonna lose map control, and the snowboarding effect is gonna change the game. And the game is not changed because of this one Salve. Yeah, that's how much a Salve can bring you and win you the game.
And he has Morbid Mask, so he has the potential to heal as much as possible and to be strong. But man, those boars do some work. And obviously, okay, who do you give the edge in a straight one-on-one battle in the lane? Morphling between the Beastmaster. Is it just a completely like a skill 50-50? Just whoever can farm the fastest?
Honestly, I think Beastmaster has a better toolkit for one-on-one. He's gonna be always keeping the Morphling low and uncomfortable, and Morphling has to always play with reflexes. So I'll give the edge to Beastmaster, and I think Beastmaster is pretty comfortable so far on this lane.
Yeah. Okay. Now, if we're looking at the bottom lane, Abad here does pick up the Ring of Health, but this is actually considerably slower than the OD here. And the OD is out farming him just by a little bit. But Paulostone, he drops the Tombstone, trying to heal. The Torn and the boat is on point. Paulostone does die, but he gets a double kill, Dreamcell. And it's a trade for that. It's a pretty nice trade just for the position 5.
Oh god, all the kills went to the way for Dreamcell. All the suffering. He pays them all back now with this double kill. And looking at the OD, like the lane is fantastic for him, and even though the Nyx is just walking up to mana burn him, but he doesn't care. Like anti-mage doesn't do anything to him, and he has gotten a 7.5 minutes Meteor Hammer. Is he trying to solo kill?
He's trying to, but Jamesy's here. He does get the stun. He does get the kill though, but after Rain will enjoy that. He's trying to TP away. No way. And Jamesy does shock him down, so to speak, and gets that kill. But it's at least it's a kill, so it's a 1-for-1.
That's so good for OD. This is the power of OD, man. Once you get to like level 8 or 9 with the Meteor Hammer, you can basically have the potential to solo kill anyone, or have a +1 and get some kills.
Ooh, the roar on Dreamcell. He's trying to morph it through, but he's got just gonna look to TP away into the bottom lane. It looks like there's gonna be a lane swap, but with Roar committed and all of these little Necro 1 creeps that are gonna take down this tower.
And this is where Abad should make a move to the top lane and join the Beastmaster to get this tower down and start swapping the safe lane. Because right now, Morphling is farming at the lane, Anti-Mage is farming at the NC. So who farms more? Obviously, the Morphling.
So they
Beastmaster is
pull.
one of the best hero to do this kind of thing because of the hawk. It gives
Yep.
so much vision. So whoever that's setting up for defense in the trees will be exposed, and they can do all this diving so easily.
Yeah. And we saw, like, I don't know, the Beastmaster, we saw it yesterday, where there was, like, the Blink initiation style, but this is the Beastmaster that I prefer. Like, the Necro, the aura building, just lane pushing, space creating type of offlaner. I think that they're going to be in a better spot than the games that we saw yesterday.
Same. This is my favorite as well. I like the Beastmasters that go for this greedy build and try to control the game by controlling the vision. If you're going for Blink Dagger, you are very one-dimensional. All you do is the Blink Raw. But if you go for the Necro Tree, you can contribute to the game in so many other ways. You can take vision, get solo kills, control Roche. There's just a lot more variation on what you can do.
Oof, yeah, and I agree, and I think that that's definitely the way to go. A bot here just getting a little bit low, and he has to be bottled by the Leshrac, and James E making his way all the way around. But he's actually top of net worth. But the thing is that he's been rotating around a lot. I feel like he's spending a lot of time just kind of going in from lane to lane. And the smoke here picks up the rune. He's going to swipe that one. And the roar they found after rain, and the TPs are coming. The astral imprisonment, they found him. But Jamesy is here, and after rain can't do anything about that. And Jamesy will run him down.
Man, I just like looking at all these plays, right? It reminds me a lot of how IO relocate is used. The global presence, top lane though. I mean,
the boat is going to be committed, and they do have him with the axe, so Eris is going to pay for that, just for the disruption. And Dreamcell gets another kill. That's never what you want to see as a Cignal Ultra fan.
I mean, talking about the BOT usage, that was so perfect there. It brings a lot of global potential for Cignal Ultra, where Beastmaster can just walk by his own, look for kills as a side lane, and there's always gonna be a +1 from the Lash to clean up anyone that he rode on.
Oh, in your dream, running for his life. He gets a little low. The heal was there. The Meteor Hammer is actually slowing down the attack and stuns him, and they all get away.
He's trying to push out the wave as fast as possible so that Cignal doesn't have a crit wave to utilize the catapult wave, and the catapult is gonna get wasted. So, fantastic defense there from 0-2.
Not too much damage there, not too much. And so they're gonna back up here after rain has completely changed lanes. Congratulations, he's got brown boots now. I mean, yes, he rushed the Meteor Hammer. He's got Tranquils to kind of pick things forward, and he's got the nice little clock, or the force staff that is. James E found Chan. The Torrent, a little off the mark, and it looks like with the stun there, Chan goes down.
Feels like 0-2, all of a sudden they are slowing things down a lot. OD has just been sitting at mid lane. They want to protect their mid so it doesn't fall to Beastmaster and Lash. And Kunkka is the one hero that is super awkward in this kind of place, because all Kunkka wants to do is to either farm or create space and keep fighting at the map. And AFK farming is not something that he would like to, because that would mean that there's not going to be any map presence on the map. He has to give the farm priority to an OD. So Kunkka wants to fight, but he doesn't have a partner to fight with.
And this is another detriment to the team synergy of 0-2 in the sense that, like, they don't have that traditional offlaner, somebody who's going to be going, like, the utility, right? And Leshrac, considering how much magic damage he brings, Shadow Demon is also there, Nyx as well, so there's a lot of potential to just get bursted by it. So you do need to be careful, and it looks like Kunkka, I mean, he's got Bracer, Medallion of Courage, and then now he's going to have to go BKB just to deal with all this magic damage.
Yeah, this is full utility by Chen, which is what he has been doing in Aster for the past years. This is the best role that really shines for him. I don't know if he likes it though, because this is a very support-ish mid play style. But Chen, he's famous for doing this back in Aster. They even have a nickname for him. In Chinese, it's called 工具人. In English, it's like the tool guy, the plumber. Yeah, that does all the dirty works, and that's Chen.
I mean, yeah, he's been doing everything. Like, he's very versatile as a player. He creates a lot of space, and pretty much, like, that's what you want as a mid laner, right? Like, you kind of want to just provide as much space as possible, and Dreamcell is going to enjoy that, and he carries the game in the end. So it works really well in terms of their team. I think that, this is one of those up-and-comer teams that I think is going to start to be, we're starting to see just how strong they are.
That's true. I love their composition too with Chen and Dreamercell, but seems like they're gonna find Abad here.
Oh, the hook. They found a bot. They're going to try to... Oh, they didn't actually push him back. They messed that up. And he blinks away. Oh, no. The boat was committed as well. They've got the X. The tombstone is just holding them back, at least the boars. But Van gets the roar. They get Qian. The astral imprisonment. Eris is there. They've got the demonic purge on Qian, and they're going to commit for this. They're going to try to get him. The split earth is there, and he's going to be left for dead. And completely botched attempt in your dream with no mana, just running for his life and creating space here, and he should eventually fall.
That was quite uncharacteristic by In Your Dream, because normally his spell casting are quite precise, but that was just...
Oh, and they found Paulison. Yeah, they're just gonna chop him up too, and my gosh, that was a disaster of like a minute from 0-2 here, and Cignal Ultra are looking to take that T1 mid.
Wow. That was such a big momentum swing. They were supposed to kill anti-mage and then push the mid tower, and in turn they got punished so hard.
In Your Dream gets the hook. He gets the easy hook into the cogs, but he's stuck in, and he does fall. Jamesy running away. He goes down, and Dreamcell is here, but they get the objective, so it's not the worst case. I mean, it's a 1-for-1, but at the cost of your mid.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay in defense coming from 0-2. It's just that they lost their best timing to punish the anti-mage, and the anti-mage got a lot of time to breathe now. Now that he has completed his Battle Fury, he's gonna feel pretty good. 15 million Battle Fury, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, okay, Dreamcell on the other hand has Lincoln's. He's probably gonna go Butterfly into BKB. Are you okay with that build order?
Wait, let's look at After the Rain first. He's gonna die here.
Demonic Purge. Yeah, he's been 5 stacks.
Oh,
even
what?
the Roar. Okay, that seemed a little bit of a little too much, but you know, I guess they'll take it.
Yeah. I guess sometimes you just have to, you know, let all your anger out.
But they're continuing to move, and now they're going in the top lane, and they want more, but they don't really have the ults for this. But In Your Dream, I mean, you don't really need ults to kill, I guess, a clock here. Yules into this split earth. They got him stunned. In Your Dream goes down instantly there. And that's going to be an easy one, and this is probably going to turn into a T2 top. No, it looks like they're going to back off here.
Alright, so this is a very important strategical move coming up from Cignal Ultra, because they... Oh wait, I mean, so much action going on in this past 2 minutes.
X-Torrents, they've got the boat as well, and Grimm's just trying to split push.
Yeah, feels like the... Yeah. Just like one counter attack at the top ancient side all of a sudden gave them a lot of boost in confidence for Cignal Ultra, and they've just been, you know, all of a sudden turning from super passive to super aggressive.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta take away space, right? That's like the biggest thing. Like, you don't want a bot to be farming too much, so you kind of want to push the envelope a little bit, just make him a little wary of just, you know, free farming in the jungle. So they try to do that, but I mean, Cignal, their defense is pretty much on point. They have a pretty decent pusher in Beastmaster, and of course with the potential wave push from the Shadow Demon there, they're in a pretty decent spot to defend.
Oh yeah, definitely. They always have the vision from Beastmaster to make use of, actually. So they are always going to be one step ahead of 0-2 unless 0-2 makes a big smoke play.
Oh, they know. Jamesy's in position. He TP'd. Grims is trying to stalk his prey, but he gets hooked here. The sentry was there, and he turns it around. He thought he was the predator, but he was the prey. And they've turned this around. They've got Dreamcell, who's actually getting bursted. Just the amount of damage, the magic damage from Jamesy, and he's going to run you down. In Your Dream, running for his life. He's got nowhere to go. He gets zapped, and Jamesy gets another kill. Yules, and they want Paulison as well. And the Flesh Golem will not keep him alive, and he goes down with a nice mana void from Abad, cleaning that one up.
Yeah, that's like a PogChamp to Lola moment. They were baiting the Nyx so hard, wait for the Nyx to get into position, caught him out, turn into the Nyx, stun him, but Wen was there with the beautiful raw. I don't know why Dreamcell didn't manage to strength morph into strength there. It was quite uncharacteristic, because you have the Lincoln Sphere for you to you know, to trigger your reflexes, right? So, Yeah.
I thought he was. I just thought there was just too much magic damage. I don't know. Maybe he just seemed very squishy to me. I mean, especially since he's like Morph right now and he's only got 940 HP, not a whole lot, and you know that Leshrac will burst you down pretty much.
Oh yeah, definitely. He has to play with more strength now.
The Necro family, they found him. The Demonic Purge on Paulison, the Astral Imprisonment just defensively used. But I don't know if he can walk away from all these boars. He's trying to heal himself, but not enough. And they do get that kill. And the first BM of the day, or at least for me, in terms of Cignal and a bot, both of them tipping Paulison.
Man, that was like the alpha move, man. Alright, I'll just kill you with my summon units from far. I don't even need to commit anything, just my summon units.
Yeah. Just let your underlings work for you, get all the kills for you.
Normally, when a post-fight die, he feels good because enemy are spending so much resources for him.
Ooh.
But this is like...
Dream Cell all by himself. Oh, they're not actually going to commit for this. Even though he's by himself. It was a 1v3 and they're like, I don't think we have enough. And they all back away from Dream Cell.
Oh, they're getting trapped now. They're getting trapped now.
They had vision. I mean, it connected. The poison did connect onto In Your Dream. In Your Dream, Assault Battery just damaging that boar. But the disruption is there. Force Staff forward. After Rain does end up catching him. And the Meteor Hammer is going to connect onto Eris. He should be easy prey here. The waveform is going to be on point. And they've turned this around. And Dream Cell is actually starting to get a little bit scary here.
Yeah, he has the MOM for him to speed up the farm. He can, after that, he can disassemble the MOM into Butterfly plus Satanic if he wants to. So, Butterfly is going to be the biggest timing for Dream Cell if he decides to go for that. But I feel like Butterfly is a little bit too ambitious. Because obviously what's killing him is all the magical damage coming out from Lash, coming out Beastmaster and Nick. So BKB sounds like the item to me if he wants to end the game or proceed for a Roshan fight.
Okay. I mean, they've opened it up. They've got the T2. Unfortunately, not in time for the 20-minute Outpost XP bonus there, but at least for the next 10 minutes, they should be fine. A bot, on the other hand, is just continuing to farm top. And while this game is really back and forth, and the kills are heavily in favor of Cignal Ultra, if we're looking at it, I mean, it's only a 6k net worth lead. That seems not the cushiest of leads, I would say.
That's true. Like, anti-mage, 1 or 2k lead actually doesn't really matter to him. Like when you are playing against the anti-mage, I mean, because anti-mage. Oh,
they got the roar,
nice
the
hit.
hook, but it connects onto the Necro units In Your Dream. He's gonna have to cogs just to keep himself alive. He's been denied the Demonic Purge as well. Chan is gonna throw out his BKB and the boat, and they're gonna live to turn this around. But Jamesy's just running him down. The split Earth on After Rain. He goes down the Mana Void, and the Tombstone is just trying to go in. And a bot, he tries to go for the Tombstone. They do get the kill. He blinks away. He's fine for now. 2 buybacks. And it looks like they've gotten Eris trapped in with the X, and they've got Grims as well. There's 2 different fights, 2 different areas. Nice little place, and the Cockroach does go down in the end, but at the cost of 2 buybacks.
And they have to instantly go to Roshan right now to salvage the buybacks. And they will. Roshan is gonna be pretty easy for them, knowing that Chuan has the Medallion, and even though Undying don't have either Tombstone or Ultimate, but that's okay for them.
Yeah, but you have
Dream Cell alone is just wrecking this Roshan down.
You really, like, you have, I mean, you spent 2 buybacks, you have to get Roche, you have to get something out of the buybacks. This is going to be a pretty big one for Dream Cell, and he picks up his Eagle Song as well. He's got Aegis, so is he the Super Saiyan guy? Have they given him enough time to kind of be this, this super ultra core that you want him to be, or does he still need to get that Butterfly or BKB?
I think Butterfly doesn't seem to be enough.
Okay.
That's maybe because the disables are deaf from Cignal Ultra to kill the Morphling. They just need to have they just have to catch Morphling off guard. I think this Butterfly build is not enough. He needs to get to the BKB first for him to just stand and take the standstill fights.
Yep. I think he's being a little bit greedy by trying to go for the Butterfly earlier. I think they do need to. He needs to mitigate all this magic damage. But the Cignal Ultra, They do have a nice little wraparound with the smoke. They get the nice little roar. Starting it off, the boat is going to connect after Rain is just barely alive. Chuan is going to BKB. The disruption is going to be used. The hammer gets dropped down. Jamesy does go down, and Van gets imprisoned again. The secondary stack into the meteor hammer, and that should lock him in. Van goes down as well. And they've gotten a 2-0, a 3-0 so far, and they thought they were the aggressors, but unfortunately, 0-2 with the outplay in terms of this team fight.
Yeah, they went for OD first this time, because the last time they raw someone else, OD was there with the save, and that was a pretty good decision, but they didn't have enough damage to finish him off, and OD got saved by the Soul Rip by Undying, and also the bolt buff from Kunkka too, so it makes him a very tanky guy, and as we said, OD already has a naturally good tanky model, so it's actually pretty hard for them to burst down OD if the anti-mage is not there for the mana void.
Yeah. And if you're looking at it, usually, like, who do you go for the squishy guys first, right? So, like, Cignal Ultra is looking at 0-2's lineup, and they're thinking, oh, which one is the squishiest one? And it's the OD, but everybody else just kind of heals, buffs, controls, and keeping OD alive. And, I mean, this is the first pick OD that we saw, and we're just seeing it kind of play its way into this game, and it's being very, very strong.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so hard, man. Like, you need to go for the OD, but OD has save too. If you go for someone else, OD will save them.
Yes.
And no one is an easy instant kill on Zero's side. It's probably only the Undying. But Undying doesn't mind dying anyways. So yeah, it's gonna be tough for Cignal Ultra in this time, especially Morphling has the Aegis. It's gonna be tricky. I feel like Anti-Mage needs a lot more item for him to just go in and burst someone from 100 to 0.
Yeah. And they had the lead. I just felt like Abbat was not farming as fast as he should have been. I mean, he's been X'd here, the boat, the torrent, all being countered, and the counter spell being used, but not enough, and Abbat goes down. And here's the Paladin. This is the revenge BM. And they tip him back.
Yeah. That's why I don't like BM tipping enemy anymore, because it backfire really hard.
Oh, yeah.
And it backs very hard too. Like, you think that you were leading, and then you BM tip people, and then when the opponent does a good comeback play, and they all just together, they BM tip you, not only that it makes you feel bad, it increases their own morale too. So it's actually a super bad backfire move. Yeah.
When I was like a younger Padawan, I used to like trash talk like nobody's business. You know, I used to be like in everybody's face. I used to talk a lot. But the thing is that I met somebody like who, when you trash talked him, he would actually get angry and he would be more focused, and he would concentrate, and he would then destroy me. Like, I learned my lesson to not awake the beast, so to speak.
Wow, seems like you run into Kobe Bryant, bro. You run into Kobe Bryant. Like, I think that's the mentality, right? So someone trash talk you, it didn't shake you, it makes you angry, but also more focused.
Yes.
That's the kind of beast that you don't want to mess around with.
Yeah. Like, I completely learned my lesson, and this is why I don't trash talk today. And when I see it, and I'm like, oh, dude, they've got somebody on that team who's got that Mamba mentality, and I don't want him to wake him up. So I'm gonna be like, dude, just shut up, man, just shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, they found In Your Dream. Oh, the heal? And that's not enough. Even with the Blade Mail, Abbat blinks away, but Flesh Golem has been used, and it looks like a zombie apocalypse, but they're going to just get whittled away, and the Tombstone is too far, and they should be fine, but all at the cost of just the clock there.
This is so weird. Cignal Ultra, they're holding 4k gold lead, but it doesn't feel like it at all. Because look at the map control is completely by control. 75% of the map is controlled by 0-2, and they are just demolishing their map control, playing in the face of Cignal Ultra. Cignal Ultra, they have to just rely on this anti-mage and be patient, and hopefully anti-mage can get a good initiation on the Morphling, and then just brings him down from 100 to 0. But it's gonna be hard though, because Morph has the Lincoln Sphere for protection already. Yeah,
I like, they had a lead, Cignal Ultra. Like, I feel like a bot in that case. Oh, it looks like the Grims has been chopped here, and the Spike Carapace is just buying a little bit of time. The X is just throwing him back, but now Dream of Cell, and they'll just give him the kill there. But like, I feel like a bot should be way more ahead than he is right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is not the ideal game for anti-mage. Like, the ideal game for anti-mage is very similar to Naga Siren, where you want to be at least one big item ahead of your enemy core. And in this case, there's still a lot of ways that 0-2 can kill this anti-mage.
Oh,
He
but
needs like Abyssal Blaze Guardi plus BKB.
it's just too many items. Oh, the Torrent is just barely off. The blind hook is going to miss as well. He does get away, so he needs to be careful. So this is completely, like, the game is... I mean, they're in the lead. Technically, they have a 5k net worth lead, but they know that the momentum is completely shifted, and they are behind, and 0-2 have controlled the map.
As we speak, there's a big smoke gang coming up from 0-2. Seems like they're gonna completely miss Cignal Ultra. Alright, this is a better move from 0-2. I think the fact that 0-2 went, they spoke their way to the triangle so that they can start putting down their vision to control the second Roshan that may spawn in another 1.5 minute. And also they have the high ground advantage.
They
so this fight,
do. Oh my gosh, they're gonna... I hope they don't walk up blind. The Torrent is gonna be committed there. And they do have the high ground. Oh, the blink forward. And it looks like they're going to go. The BKB, the Van, is going to look to just fight this one. The boat is going to connect onto Grims. Chuan has got his BKB. He's looking to just right-click Van. They're trying to focus it down, but they're all over the place. Grims is going. The blink in as well, but they found a bot, which is the biggest target. In Your Dream is slowly getting whittled down. He does go down. It's a 2-for-1 so far. The disruption, at least for now, Chuan is going to go down. Dreamacell is going to, man, fight this. I don't know if he can. Paulison gets the one last heal. The waveform away. He's running for his life. He TPs out. He should be fine. Paulison, on the other hand, not as lucky. He gets caught in with the Yules, and Jamesy will make him pay. It's a 4-for-1, and again, momentum switching all over the place. What happened with that fight?
I think it looks so scary for Cignal Ultra at the first second because they are walking up to high ground without vision. But I think the hawk there from Beastmaster actually give them the information, and they both Leshrac and Anti-Mage, they jump on the same target, which is the OD. They take down the OD immediately, and then all of a sudden the fight just feels so much better for Cignal Ultra because they have the high ground vision with the hawk. They have OD down, so the chaos fight was completely in favor for Cignal Ultra.
Like, this is when you're learning Dota, this is why when you're going for a gank or whatever, you have to understand the power of high ground and how much vision it provides. Being able to to set up that trap, so to speak, that bear trap, and letting them walk in. I mean, you have a huge advantage because you can dictate, where the fight is, how you get that priority going, and so they really made them pay for that.
Yeah. Not only that, the target selection is very important as well. If both the Anti-Mage and Leshrac didn't jump on the OD first and burst it down, the fight could be so much different.
Yeah, agreed. And it looks like they've smoked, and they're making their way, going in. They do have vision here, so it's not a completely blind one. So 0-2 realizing that they definitely are going to take advantage of this ward. But they're not going to find anything, unfortunately, as Grims is just slithering or crawling his way to the mid lane here.
Is history going to repeat himself? This is the exact same thing that we were watching 1 minute ago.
Yeah, I think they've learned their lesson. This is the whole fool me once kind of thing. And yeah, they've got Chuan here. Just he's got his own X, so he should be fine. He can pull himself away at any moment. But yeah, they're super careful, and they're respecting the fact that this high ground is definitely not the place to be.
This is a very intense moment right now because Roshan is up any second, and you look at 0-2. They are super anxious. They know that they are controlling high ground, but after the defeat last fight, they are also very afraid because you never know how Cignal Ultra will approach the next fight after the insane way of starting the last fight and winning it.
Like, you're up 13k. Right, as Cignal Ultra. Like, I understand that you just want a team fight and you don't exactly know the net worth differences and all that, but like, you still, like, momentum had shifted so hard that they still feel like they're playing, at least in a way that they're kind of like they feel like they're behind.
I'm sure that they don't feel very comfortable too. At least they are not feeding the 13k goal lead. Because if you look at the items, right, Leshrac has a BKB Bloodstone. Like, he's still a pretty easy target to bring down by the Morphling. Like, he doesn't have these blink hacks that he know that if I'm able to pull this off, this Morphling is 100% dead. They don't have this kind of certainty there for Cignal Ultra. The only certainty is probably Anti-Mage with the Abyssal Blade. That he knows that, okay, I just need a +1 and this OD will die. Then I think they need more of this toolkit to give them the certainty, and then they will feel more secure to pull out some team fights.
Okay, they're using Grims to be a scouting agent, but they've smoked, and they're going to go in. The Necros are going to go and scout it out. They found Chuan. The BKB was on point, though, but after rain does go down, they did get the initiation on that. That was a really nice place. Flesh Golem, Boat, is going to actually be off the mark. Van is going to have to back off. The BKB has completely expired. He gets shotgunned down, and he does go down. James is looking to fight, and now the Water World, and Chuan is doing a lot of work, but he goes down. The waveform, and Dream Itself is all by himself. The disruption, do they have enough damage? The Paulison has to TP back, and he goes down as well, and Paulison looks like he's going to go down as well, and that's a dieback, entire team wipe, a triple kill going the way of Jamesy.
Wow. Once again, Cignal Ultra are running up high ground, and they're still winning. The same thing they did was, they brought down the OD once again. You know what OD needed to do this game, Haller?
Yeah.
He shouldn't have gone for the BKB. He should have went for the Eon Disc, man.
Ah, agreed.
Eon Disc is gonna be the item that can save him, that can bring him back into the game in just 1 second of time. Like, BKB, I'm gonna raw you, you're not gonna have any time to react to my raw, and you're gonna die. But if you have Eon Disc, that's your insurance, man.
And so you're kind of seeing just how things have swung in the sense that, like, you know, Cignal Ultra all have BKBs, right? So they can't be imprisoned, they can't really be controlled in that sense. So, like, normally when the OD gets jumped on, everybody else would, you have like cogs, you have, you know, different ways to heal and like just kind of keep him alive. But you don't have those options anymore because Cignal Ultra have the burst or they have the defensive capabilities to keep themselves alive. So they're in pretty much the driver's seat at this point, and they're making him pay for just bad itemization, as they probably should have gone Andisk. Oh, and the blink forward, and they found After Rain again. And this is kind of where you start get rage, and your dream goes down as well, and they've just completely turned this around. And yeah, when it starts to snow, man, it starts to, like, you know, just, it's like a giant blizzard at this point.
Anti-Mage with the DD rune, like that surprised the crap out of 0-2. And the OD just, we haven't seen what he can do in the team fight at, like, for 3 fights in a row, maybe because the good target selection by Cignal Ultra. They respect the fact that OD, you know, represents the save for his team. As long as you take him down first, you are gonna win the fight. And also, OD not saving buyback is also a big inexperienced thing, I think.
It's actually pretty massive. Oh, the BKB, oh sorry, the boat is actually going to be a little mistimed. The disruption was on point though, but they actually mistimed that. And Chuan actually wastes the Water World, the Torrent Storm, and actually not able to get any sort of damage. And they've taken the bottom racks, the middle racks, and they want to back up here, and then they're going to look to take the top racks, but this is not looking good for 0-2.
No, not at all. I think they completely missed their timing now. Like, OD is very weak in this kind of situation where enemy just have all the ability to burst hero down. Like you most of the time you won't have the reaction to just, you know, just to assure a teammate or even assure yourself. So this is definitely a very hard OD game so far. I feel like this is starting to be a Morphling versus the Warrior game, and I don't know if Morphling has the ability to carry this because Anti-Mage is so much ahead right now with the Skadi plus Monkey King Bar plus Abyssal Blade. He can solo kill anyone on 0-2.
He is, yeah, like, they're going to have a rough time. And to be honest, I feel like After Rain, like, the idea of the OD off, okay, but here we go. A bot is going to go in, he blinks forward, he's going to go directly for After Rain, BKB or not, drop the hammer, I don't care, and they do end up popping the Aegis. They got something out of this, and that's going to be another 2 seconds. They did get In Your Dream, though, so he goes down. A bot, though, do they get him a second time? No, they disruption save there. Can he blink away? No, with the Torrent is on point, and they end up making him pay. Oh my gosh, After Rain is, he's been demonic purge. Jamesy's running after him, and they made After Rain pay. And they're going to look to turn this, and they're going to try to go for Paulison, who's got the Flesh Golem. So it's a 2 for 2, but Morphling is still very much alive, although he's morphing low. Doesn't need to be careful. Paulison goes down. Dreamcell is, After Rain, excuse me, buys back. Dreamcell is trying to find him. They do have the X, and they're going to find Grims on his return, or his exit on out. And they do not find the Leshrac, who TPs away.
That looked really good for 0-2 at the beginning, but they dumped everything. They focused fire on the Anti-Mage. They brought him down twice in a row, but they forgot that Leshrac is another piece of factor that has been dumping so much damage into the fight, and he's left unchecked the entire fight. Triple kill onto James, and I think he salvaged the fact that Anti-Mage was brought down, and 0-2 wasn't able to punish further because of the Lash that is just killing the entire backline. he has a windbreaker on the Leshrac now, so that's gonna help his teammate that's getting focus fire because he can use the use on his teammate now. So that's gonna be another save that could be the X factor for this game.
Just the fact that they were able to focus on a bot, burst him down. I think that was in your dream, James. He found him. In your dream can't go anywhere. He just gets run down to this magical pony, just like rides his rainbow literally out of there and back onto his side of the map.
What damage is that, man? Holy shit! He didn't even have to use the speed earth on it on Clockwork. That damage output is insane. Holy shit.
He's gonna get caught out. Yeah, I mean, he was just happily farming. I mean, he's even got Mindbreaker, but he was just trying to run away. He got caught in the trees. Like, not really much space or timing or any sort of reflex to get on away. And with Leshrac, at the end of the day, James E is still top of the net worth. He's out farming this AM.
He is, man. He is. 23 and 9. We were so focused and emphasizing on the anti-mage, but we rarely talk about this Leshrac.
Yeah,
and he's reminding us of himself now. Like, hey guys, there's still a Leshrac here, guys.
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
just an MP. It's not just the anti-mage versus the Morphling show.
Like, it's crazy. Like, he still has the Nether Shawl. I mean, he has so many different item choices. Leshrac actually picks back the Penta-edged sword. Plus 80 attack range, plus 45 damage. Is this... Yeah, he's throwing it back into the fountain. Smoke here. They're trying to hunt for something. They're going to make their way into the triangle of the dire side. Maybe find some sort of pick-off, but they're actually going away from the enemy.
Before the storm. I think 0-2, they are very afraid of taking fights outside of their high ground here because they know that, this is probably going to be the last team fight, and when you know that, you probably want to take the most secure and safe one, the safest one. I think what they are doing here is correct. Rely on the high ground advantage for you to take your last fight. But one thing I want to mention is that look at the difference between the Kunkka and the Lashed, and I think this is the BOT effect, where when one carry can just skill and walk around the entire map pushing wave, he's gonna skill so much better than the mid that doesn't have the BOT. So this Leshrac is the biggest X factor right now in this game.
I mean, he's just on you. He's so fast, right? He has so many different ways to just kind of run up on you with the BOT, the blink, everything. Just kind of like he's on you like in an instant. He bursts you, so you kind of like don't expect it. And like, not everyone has BKBs, and I mean, most of the cores do at this point. But like, just I don't know if they're just slow-fingered, but they haven't been able to keep themselves alive against him.
Sure. I mean, they just have two giant cores to deal with, and it's tough for them because they don't have any burst damage. It's not like, alright guys, we dump all our damage, we'll kill this guy quick. It's not like that. The execution have to be precise, they have to wait for the BKB to wear off on Cignal Ultra side, so the tsunami thing, the torrent storm can do its thing. It's just way harder for 0-2 to execute this in this game.
And like, I don't know. I feel like the Kunkka's been a little underwhelming this game. I haven't seen. I mean, yes, the boat X's and all that have been like okay, but like once they go BKBs, it's kind of like, all right, now what? Like, you know what I mean? Like nothing is really controlling anybody, and Kunkka doesn't really have a great time then.
Yeah, completely agree too. It feels like Kunkka is just a very rich support or off lane right now that doesn't really do too much damage, doesn't really tank too much because of the crazy damage coming from Lash. And I guess this is why Kunkka hasn't been the best, or the popular mid hero in this meta.
Oh, they found the Chuan. They're going to roar instantly, but he's got the BKB keeping him alive just for now. Dream of Cell as well. James, he's just running back and forth, just trying to do as much damage, and Chuan does go down. That's the first one after Rain is being focused. Does need to be a little bit careful. He imprisons himself just to keep himself alive. A bot has gone a little too deep. Needs to be careful. He counterspells and BKBs. He should be fine. The boat is going to connect onto Ares, so they've got something. After Rain should be able to slice and dice him down. They do. He does have buyback if they want to go. A bot actually goes back in. He gets Paulison, so they've got something. The boat is going to be a little off the mark. After Rain to the high ground, keeps the imprisonment. He does fall in the end, so they've got something. And Chuan is getting run up on. The heal is not enough, and in your dream with no mana, and all he has are hopes and prayers, and he's trying to run away and not able to do that. Paulison goes down as well, and a bot has just been too much. The buyback from in your dream just cogging him, but if anything, it's just slowing it down, and that's going to be the inevitable, and that's a dieback for him. A bot is going to focus on this T3. And that's pretty much GG here, and it looks like we're going to go into a game 3.
Looks like it. Wow, what an amazing performance coming out from Jamesy. The beam breaker, that's so hilarious.
Jamesy. Oh, the style points. He's like ice skating on top of the Ancient. Nicely done there.
The celebration.
Oh, they found Dream of Cell. Oh, Eris. Oh, the roar is keeping him alive, and he's not able to morph through that, and he does go down, and finally GG's going to be called. If anything, he just wanted one more kill to help his, to pad his KDA, but he was rejected from even that.
Beautiful performance coming out from Cignal. Well, the way they start the team fight in the worst possible way is run up high ground, where the entire 0-2 team they positioned themselves well, they're prepared for it, and they still won the team fight against 0-2. That was some unbelievable team fights.
Oh, I didn't even notice this. As I'm a terrible caster, I just noticed that Grims had actually picked up the Divine Rapier, probably from Dream of Cell there. But yeah, they finished that one with that. But Jamesy, 23-13, easily the MVP, right?
Of course, I think he's the one that's holding the game for Anti-Mage long enough for Anti-Mage to pop off. And even that, he did not slow down his farm at all too. He was like, just, top 1 for some time, and he does the most damage to, I believe, with 50k. And also, don't forget that how active he was in the early game. You were saying like this Leshrac was running everywhere on the map, pushing down towers, creating temples, and he was still able to be the beast at the late game. So that was some impressive performance by James.
Look, if they had a pipe on 0-2, and I feel like teams still don't do this utility thing enough. If they do that, it mitigates a ton of the damage that he's thrown out there, right? All you need to do is keep yourself alive just to let your cores do the work. And, I mean, After Rain is so squishy. He's been focused every single time. He was trying to stay alive, but look at his item build. If you're thinking about it, I mean, the 4-staff and the BKB, and he was pretty much the end. He was not able to get any other items. If he had prioritized the pipe a little bit earlier, I feel like his survivability would increase twicefold.
Yeah, that's very true. They don't have anyone that can itemize for the pipe. The Clockwork obviously wants to go for the Blade Mill, but I think that's a little bit ambitious, thinking that your Blade Mill is actually going to do something to the Lash, because Lash can easily just ignore you, right? And Clockwork is not the priority target for Lash anyway. So what Clockwork needed to do there was to stick himself to the Lash and then pop Blade Mill, and hoping Leshrac will kill himself during the Blade Mill. That's a little bit unreliable to me. But what if they go... They itemize themselves and go for a pipe on Clockwork, and then the 4-staff on OD. That might change something actually. But obviously pipe right now is super expensive, and I don't think Clockwork is the best one to buy it anyway. I feel like OD should be the one that's buying it.
Okay. And another thing that I just noticed is that, like, I kind of want to do the research or somebody takes stats in the sense of, like, if you just get more shards on your team, do you just win the game? Like, is this a thing? Where, you know what I mean, like you just have that extra skill, you have that, I mean, yeah, you're probably out farming at that point, but I wonder if this is that where shards are just so powerful that you know what I mean, it comes down to whichever team gets, the first to 5 or whatever.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting research. But I think naturally whoever has more shards means that they are also economically ahead by quite a lot. Yeah. But there's definitely some shard upgrades that can change the game, like the Mars one. I think Shadow Demon shard upgrade is pretty insane too, where you just constantly dispel your cores. And imagine him using all the Lash, like Lash just runs in with this constant dispel. That's actually pretty crazy.
Okay.